Close your eyes. Imagine a stadium pulsing with light, people chanting in languages you don't speak, but somehow you understand the emotion. Now open them. You're not at the Maracanã or the Bernabeu. You're in Boston. Game 7. The final seconds. And somehow this feels just as ancient, just as sacred. Welcome to Curious Minds. Today's story is not just about sports. It's about emotion, collective memory, ritual. We're comparing the final chapter of two massive global events, the upcoming FIFA Club World Cup final and the intense climax of the NBA's Game 7, two different sports, but perhaps one shared human experience. Let's start with what's about to happen, the final of the FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Still unknown, still unwritten. But the energy? Already building. Held this time in Saudi Arabia, it's not just another football tournament. It's where continents collide. Champions of Europe, South America, Africa, Asia, each carrying history like armor. This is not your average match. This is where a club from Japan might face one from Brazil, where dreams forged on dusty pitches in Africa clash with polished academies in Europe. It's not only about who scores, it's about whose story gets to be remembered. Then there's the NBA Game 7, the final decisive game in a series tied 3-3. It's not a new event, but every year it feels mythic. This isn't just basketball, it's a stage for legacy, a single night where entire careers, dynasties, and cities can rise or crumble. You know the feeling. The crowd holds its breath as the shot clock winds down. A player stares at the hoop like it holds the meaning of life. And when the ball arcs into the air, everything else, taxes, politics, the rent, disappears. In both events, the emotional architecture is similar. The Club World Cup final is played once, a winner-takes-all battle of nerves and instincts. Game 7, while part of a series, is no less final. Both are distilled tension, 90 minutes, 48 minutes, no room for error. In the NBA, the stakes are deeply personal. A player like Jason Tatum, Devin Booker, or Jimmy Butler knows Game 7 might define their narrative for the rest of time. Win, and you're a hero. Lose, and that's all people remember. What's fascinating is how these moments echo across geographies. A fan in Cairo watches the Club World Cup final with the same intensity as someone in Brooklyn watching Game 7. Same heart rate spike, same sweaty palms, same prayers whispered into the noise. Let's zoom in on the rituals. Soccer fans wear amulets, light candles, recite chants passed down through generations. NBA fans, they wear unwashed jerseys, sit in the same seat, avoid eye contact during free throws. Superstition becomes religion. When a goal hits the net or a buzzer beater drops, something ancient is triggered. There's screaming, yes, but it's more than that. It's catharsis, a purge. You're not just reacting, you're releasing everything life's been building up. These finals also serve as mirrors. In the Club World Cup, you see geopolitics, economics, the globalization of sport, a team funded by oil money versus one built on community support. On the court, it's capitalism too, but in sneakers. Game 7 has its own shadows, stars asked to carry teams alone, coaches aging visibly on the sideline, refs making history with a single whistle, all of it under the brightest lights and the coldest replays. Media magnifies everything. A missed penalty becomes a meme, a clutch block becomes legend, and in 2025, social media doesn't wait. Reactions are uploaded before the ball even lands. But strip away the noise, and what you find is something deeply universal, the desperate need for resolution, for justice, for a fair end to a long story. Whether it's in Riyadh or Miami, we crave endings that make sense. And here's a quiet truth. We don't just love finals because someone wins. We love them because someone loses. There's something oddly noble about watching heartbreak unfold honestly, without excuses. We cry with the loser. We feel their collapse, a missed layup, a penalty gone wide, the silence after. That gut punch of finality. It reminds us, even gods bleed. On the flip side, victory? Oh, it's euphoric, but not just for the trophy. It's the story, the arc, the villain defeated, the redemption complete. It's myth-making in real time. Zoom out and you'll see that both events offer a cultural pulse. Club World Cup finals disrupt entire nations. People skip work. Schools close early. Flags are painted on cheeks. The match becomes a national event. In America, Game 7 becomes ritual. Friends gather, drinks poured, bets made, generations yelling together. It's like Thanksgiving, but with sneakers and more screaming. What's beautiful is how these finals unite strangers. Someone you've never met halfway across the world is feeling the same thing as you. That's rare in today's world. That matters. And sure, there's money, ads, sponsors. Finals are billion-dollar beasts, but at the core, it's still just people chasing a ball, hoping, risking, creating drama that Shakespeare would have struggled to write. Look close during a final. You'll see a dad remembering his childhood, a mother showing her kid what it means to fight, a teenager dreaming it's them out there someday. And maybe that's why we keep coming back. Because finals don't just entertain. They explain us. They show us at our most exposed, hungry, hopeful, human. Think about the sound. In the Club World Cup, it's drums, horns, and full-body chants, a sea of rhythm and smoke. In Game 7, it's a swelling hum, sneakers squeaking, coaches yelling, a collective gasp before the buzzer. One is primal, the other theatrical, both hypnotizing. Now the players, in soccer, 11 individuals operate as one. In the final, every movement matters. A wrong foot and the game's lost. In basketball, 5 warriors, sometimes just one, bear the burden. Think of a star player with 4 defenders and no backup. It's combat in real time. But perhaps the biggest parallel is this. These finals both hold the power to rewrite legacy in minutes. A striker who scored all season can be forgotten with one missed penalty. A point guard who carried his team might be remembered for one turnover. Fair? No. But real? Always. And what about coaching? In the Club World Cup, one decision, press or park the bus, can seal fate. In Game 7, a late timeout or bench rotation can decide championships. The sidelines become psychological war zones, chess at 200 BPM. Sometimes the outcome hangs on intangibles, weather, altitude, referees, even luck. A deflection, a bounce, a whistle. And years of work unravel in a second. That randomness? That's why it feels like destiny, not just design. What unites both events is the emotional residue they leave. After the cameras stop, the confetti swept, people remember. They remember where they were, who they were with, what they felt. Finals become bookmarks in our lives. You don't just recall the score, you recall your dad's reaction, the friend who texted, the silence in your house after the loss, or the screaming joy of that final shot, memory wrapped in emotion. That's the true final. And here's a twist we often forget. Sometimes it's not even about the game. It's about escape. In a fractured world, we gather, not just for sport, but to feel together, to let go, to shout, to believe in something bigger, if only for 90 minutes or 48. Now think about this. The Club World Cup final still hasn't happened. We don't know who will win, what country will celebrate, or what heart will break, but we do know it's coming. And it will matter, not just for fans, for cultures, for history. Game 7, on the other hand, we've seen dozens of times, but it never feels old. Why? Because each new one carries the full weight of the last, and still adds something new. It's a living myth, evolving with every new buzzer beater. And if we're honest, we're addicted to the feeling, not just of winning, but of the journey, the anticipation, the fear, the risk of watching your heart break and showing up anyway. Finals are emotional Russian roulette, and we love it. We watch because we crave meaning. Whether you live in Rio or Chicago, a final gives your week, your life, context. It's a rare moment where passion is not just allowed, but expected. Screaming at the TV becomes acceptable therapy. So next time you watch a final, whether it's a Copa Libertadores club facing Manchester City, or 2 NBA titans battling for rings, notice your body, your breathing, your emotions. That's your humanity, lit up in high definition. Because in the end, these games don't just reflect the world, they build it, they create memories stronger than most headlines, they connect strangers, split households, and mark generations. And that's why they matter. Deeply. Thanks for watching, Curious Minds. If this video stirred something in you, a memory, a question, a passion, tell us in the comments. And as always, open your minds and stay curious.